inter-secondary school games have come to, there is the semis in there. The first game already went down. I will be giving you the scores. And then also somehow second game is ongoing down in Barifa, formerly home of there is Arua Hill Soccer Club. And then for the girls, the first game took place in St. Mary's Idiofe playgrounds. And then currently it is also the second game there is ongoing, and most of these games are already into second halves, and I will also be able to give you how the first halves, of course, are closed in down there. And then those are some of the updates we have locally here. And then in a big league, of course, a big league returns. Games started yesterday, today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And in between, particularly for Onduparaka Football Club, they will be having a game up against, there is a Kataka. Remember, the first leg, Kataka came here and they were beaten 1-0 in the late minutes. We'll also be giving you that. And then internationally, by the way, one of us here, son of the soil, formerly captain over there is a Royal Soccer Club, Toha, Rashid, and the rest, or the like of Gaddafi, Wahab, Fiago have been summoned, by the way. They're representing South Sudan, the Bright Stars in there is the AFCON friendly games. And Toha gets to, by the way, he gets to captain that very team there. Quite very impressive and a very good one for him. And then in rugby also, in the All African Games, we are getting to beat teams there for fun. There is a team we played the other day at 2 p.m. Zimbabwe, and we beat them thoroughly. First round ended 14-0 in there, and a couple of updates will be coming through. And remember, like I had said, starting with local scenes down here. There is the post-primary ball games that, of course, are ongoing. Yesterday, the draws were made, and Mvara was supposed to take on a Niva High, formerly called as Nile High, so that you're not confused, because a lot of people get to ask us questions when we just go in bluntly and say Niva High. A lot of people come in and say, hey, which one is Niva High? Which one is Niva High? Okay. Mvara was supposed to play Niva High, that formerly was called Nile High. Don't get confused. And then Arua SS was supposed to play Arua Town SS. Arua Town SS is formerly Arua Town College, and currently the Arua Town College and Arua SS game is ongoing. First half ended on a 1-1. We're seeing these games going into penalties. And then for the girls football, in the morning, Idiofe was supposed to play, there is a Muni Girls, and then Mvara was supposed to play Tarantino. But then they interchanged them, where Idiofe Girls played, there is a Muni Girls, and Muni Girls already packed. That game ended 1-0 there in favor of Idiofe Girls, and my former school, I am an OG of Muni Girls. We were beaten in the semi-finals. 1-0 by, that is Idiofe Girls in football, but we're waiting for them in netball, and netball will revenge even athletics. Hey, my Muni Girls is coming for you, Idiofe Girls. Wish you all the best now that you've actually gone through to, there is the finals. In semi-finals, you get to beat my former school, that is Muni Girls, 1-0. But then for there is the Mvara Niva High game. Mvara taught Niva High some football. They walloped them 3-0. Mvara SS went through to finals, and in that finals, Mvara now awaits either Arua SS or they await Arua Town SS. Should we say Arua Town College? Arua SS, I don't want to be arrested by the stakeholders. So Mvara SS is through to finals, and they beat, there is a Niva SS in the morning at 3-0 in there. They are settled, waiting in for finals. Tada, that is stamped, approved, stamped, sealed, confirmed, everything. They wait for finals. And then also in the ongoing games that, of course, are taking place in Barifa, it's of course Arua SS, and there is it's Arua SS up against Arua Town SS. I told you first half, I was there. First half ended on a 1-1, which was a draw, and then second half is ongoing. And I know before we move out of here, we'll be equally to give you some of the updates or some of the full-time time, and then you'll basically get to know which school is playing who in the finals. Are we seeing history repeating itself? Last year we saw Mvara SS going in to, of course, face Arua SS, and we saw Mvara SS losing out to Arua SS. Slimly, Arua SS was crowned champions. That was last year, and this year Mvara is again through to there is the finals. They beat Niva 3-0. Are we seeing history repeating itself? Could Arua SS eject Arua Town SS? Is Arua Town SS going to eject Arua SS? So the 90 minutes of play, of course, will get to determine this, and I will bring you this as we will be also closing in here. And leaving that aside, crossing to there is a FUFA drum games, by the way. Remember, there were a lot of issues that came through, and in the FUFA drum finals, Lango is supposed to play Bugisu, and then Busoga. Lango is supposed to play Busoga in the finals, and this finals is, of course, supposed to be at MTN Omondi playgrounds. And initially, Lango had complained that 4 of their key players were for national duty. They were summoned in the national crane squad, and that they were not going to play. They were going to boycott this game simply because their key players are not there. Are we anticipating Lango fearing Busoga or what? I don't know. It's not me who has said that. But I can confirm to you that amidst all these complaints, another complaint that Lango actually lodged was that MTN Omondi was small. I don't know if they wanted to carry the whole province and all that, but we all know Lango province when it comes to support. We know Northern Uganda when it comes to support. People sweep themselves, guy. Everyone goes and watches. So basically, MTN Omondi is to carry up to the capacity of 6,000, and Lango and Busoga were given tickets over 3,000 put to divide half, and then the remaining tickets, of course, were given to there is a MTN in there because they are partners in there. Lango complained, and to me, the only complaint that was very genuine was the one of the stadium being so small, in that it couldn't accommodate the numbers that were anticipated that I would come in to watch the finals. That was the only genuine complaint for me, because this other complaint of that CG, our key players are not there, they are for national duty, we want them to be there and all that, that complaint to me didn't hold water. This, I wanted Lango to look at an example of West Nile Province where during the quarterfinals where West Nile Province played Lango Province in the first leg at Akibo and Lira, West Nile Province, by the way, went on a head-to-head with there is Lango Province without their key players. I think around 3 West Nile Province players were in for that is a national duty. Around 4. We had Okocho Rashid. We had Muhammad Shaban. We had Leonzi Nafian, Bayo Fahad. All these boys were for national duty, but West Nile Province did not complain. West Nile Province did not even write a letter. West Nile Province went in and honored this fixture. Now, I have been asking myself a question, that where Lango Province comes in and complains that their key players are not there, blah, 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 they want the fixture to be postponed and all that. What if these guys were out injured? God should forbid that. I am sorry, I'm not saying I want your players to be injured and all that, no. What if these players were out injured? What would you say? You are going to say that we wait for the doctor to first bring them out of the injury before these games are played and all that. We've seen a lot of huge teams are playing in games without their lead players. We recently saw Liverpool taking on a game without Mohamed Salah, who got injured in the AFCON games. Didn't Liverpool win without Mohamed Salah? We've seen Manchester United playing in their games without their lead players, around 4. Luke Shaw, the likes of a lot of players. They always go in for those games and even sometimes win. We've seen a lot of international teams. My Lango Province, our neighbors. Let us bring in genuine complaints next time. Don't come into my inbox. This was just a fault. This is just my opinion as Susie that I am entitled to. And this time around, Lango, by the way, held recently a meeting at Kibwa with their fans chairperson where they said they were going to boycott the games. They're not going to attend the games and all that because the capacity of MTN Philip, MTN Omondi is so small and all that. So they left that game to be attended by their Kampala fans, the Langis that are in Kampala. So if you're Langi and you're watching us from Kampala, not in northern Uganda, those that are in northern Uganda, it was confirmed that you're not traveling. And those that are in Kampala, I would like to say come through and support. This game is going to be on Friday. Tomorrow, come through, support your province. Let's see. Let the best team win. And even those from Busoga province, those that hail from Busoga province, I would like to say, come through, support your boys. Let the best province win. Yeah, let the best province win. And there is the Lango Busoga. The summoned squad that has traveled that awaits this game. We have Emmanuel Odonkara. These are the Lango names that you will be expecting to feature in, of course, some of these games. We have Emmanuel Odonkara, Tony Chamera, Jacob Okao, Isaac Okelo, Daniel Otim, Rajab Fazil, John Paul Achire, Emmanuel Obua, Herbert Ochai, Joseph Andrew Ogwang, and then Ivan Okelo, and then Musa Ramadhan, Darius Ojok, Haron Odongo, Saidi Mayanja, Joel Serunjogi, Franco Nen, Norman Odipio. Norman Odipio, this name sounds so Lubara. I don't know where the Langis stole this guy from, but honestly, Odipio, this name, by the way, sounds typical Lubara. He features in the summoned squad for there is the Lango province. There is a Norman Odipio, there is a Fazil Tumwine, Andrew Otim, Innocent Maduka, and Alan Okelo down there. Those are some of the names that you will be expecting in to, of course, feature in that squad for Lango province. I will bring to you the one for Busoga tomorrow as they will be taking on that game, of course, around 4 p.m. Whichever of the provinces you hail from, please pull through, support them. For me, I would be supporting West Nile province, but Lango ejected us right here, home, upper, at Greenlight Stadium. They caned us 2-1, and they ejected us, so we are the reigning champions. We pushed through to there is a quarterfinals, and we were pulled out by there is a Lango province. So, Busoga and Lango, come and support your province. Let the best province win. Let the drum trophy go to the best province that wins. That aside, of course, we'll be crossing over to a Bet Power Big League. There were results that were very shocking that came through last weekend. That was, of course, those are some of the games that we have been discussing up front from there is a Monday to yesterday, Wednesday, and today, Thursday. We'll be looking with you into some of the fixtures, of course, some of the fixtures that are coming through. Wednesday, that was yesterday, there was a game played between Ginger North United and Blacks Power. And I think Blacks Power went past Ginger because I saw the PRO typing something on Facebook, which of course was a positive there to see to it that actually Blacks Power went past. And by the way, this is a very good one for Blacks Power. Initially, after beating Onduparaka Football Club right in a row at Greenlight Stadium 1-0 with a late goal that came through from Amaduka in the 80th minute, we saw Black Power pushing to position number 4, quite a very good one for them, and Onduparaka continues to sink. Onduparaka came in second round with a very vivid morale, a very high head-on. They won their first home game up against Chiinda, and then traveled to Mukono to play Chetume. These 2 games they won, and then coming back home for the 3rd game up against Blacks Power, we saw them losing out to Blacks Power 1-0 with a late goal coming through, like a direct sender coming through from there is a Maduka. And this time around, Blacks Power is doing so well, but West Nile colleagues, that is Calvary, they are chasing themselves with Onduparaka. When Onduparaka is at position number 7 on the tables, you see Calvary sits at position number 8. When Onduparaka comes to position number 8, you see Calvary reversing to position number 9 down there. So basically that is that for the head-ons for Blacks Power. It's quite a very good one, and they are competing, by the way, so badly to see to it that I think they want to attain automatic automatic promotion to there is a Star Times Uganda Premier League, because you definitely get to see that when you finish the first 3 positions in the table standings of a big league, you get an automatic promotion to there is the biggest style of football in Uganda. There is a Star Times Uganda Premier League. Every other club, by the way, that plays in this very league wants to push through to there is a Star Times Uganda Premier League. So it's very tight. We are seeing Mbale Heroes up there in the fight. We're seeing Police up there in the fight. Now we are seeing also Boma Equal is in the fight. We are seeing Blacks Power has joined the fight and the race. It's quite a very tight one. Recently, we saw Mbale Heroes being beaten by Kataka, their neighbors. That was a derby. They were beaten 1-0, and of course, it ended in the usual way: the stones, tear gas, and the rest. That we all know. And this time around, games went down yesterday. There was one game that actually went down yesterday. There was Ginger North up against Blacks Power, and then on Sunday, Calvary will play at Lugazi Football Club in Lugazi. Calvary gets to travel. And then Young Elephants will play, there is a Chetume. By the way, something big about Young Elephants. Young Elephants this time around is getting to win in games for fun in there. Look at Young Elephants. The most recent game, the most 2 recent games that they played. One, they traveled to Calvary at Midigo. They were able to hold Calvary to a 0-0. That was very shocking, man. Because if you look at the Young Elephants, this is a team that sits down there. However hard they play, trust me, I don't see Young Elephants, by the way, surviving relegation. They have been in the red zone from the time the season started, and they are still there. First round ended and saw them still in the red zone, and here we are in the second round. They are still in the red zone. They slightly sit ahead of Ndeje, but of course Ndeje pulled out over, and Ndeje of course are pulled out over. There is the league. So basically, I was surprised that Young Elephants traveled to Yumbe and they were able to hold Calvary down on a 0-0. Moreover, Calvary was home amidst the 12-man squad, that is the fans and all that. And then the same Young Elephants continues to shock people. Recently, they held the table leaders to a 3-3. Man, this is big, like a team that sits rock bottom of the table, holding a team that has been on top of the table for quite some time to a 3-3, 3 goals, not 0-0. That one where they held Calvary to a 0-0, that one may I understand. No one was able to score because Calvary, normally, they have a very good squad, but they find it hard to convert goals. They lack a very creative striker that converts every other chances, every goal, every ball that has been passed. It's very hard for the team of Calvary to convert it into behind of the neck. The same applies to there is a Young Elephants, and that's why we're able to see that game ending on a 0-0. But this time around, Calvary, Young Elephants coming through to score the same number of goals like Police, 3-3. This is quite interesting. It actually propels one to start following there is a Young Elephants. They always say the kicks of a dying horse are terrible. We even saw this, by the way, the other season, last season when Onduparaka was being ejected to there is big league. The last time they played in a UPL, their last 5 games, if you watched, it was with big dogs, big clubs, the KCCS, Viper, Villa. You get it? So Onduparaka was beating in these teams, but they were in the relegation zone, and every other team thought maybe they would come through and beat them for fun and all that. Since they were doing so badly, they were known that they were going home, they were being relegated and all that. But this is Onduparaka that came and fought to the last breath. They were beating in the teams that were even in first position. Are we seeing the same happening in big league? Are we seeing the same happening with Young Elephants? I want to see their game on Sunday up against Chetume. This is Chetume that the other time lost to Onduparaka. Even after that, their most recent game, they lost. They were beaten by Ginger North. So Chetume gets to, this time around, they get to travel to the home of Young Elephants. Now again, this is going to be a little bit risky because Young Elephants has gained momentum. They are holding people at draws for fun. And bringing in Chetume home, Chetume that is deteriorating badly. They are fading off. I don't know what is happening. Even you go to Chetume's home in Mukono, you're beating them. The last 2 games they played was in Mukono against Onduparaka and Ginger. They were beaten home. So this time around, coming to Young Elephants that is rejuvenated. There is playing draws for fun. I want to watch that game on Sunday. I'll bring to you a complete analysis on Monday. And then that will not be the only game that will be played on Sunday. And then Chigezi Homeboys will play. There is a Chiyinda at Kabale Municipal Stadium in there. This game will also be on Sunday. And then a huge one for there is my counterparts in West Nile, where we'll be seeing Onduparaka traveling to Kataka at Mbale Municipal Stadium. Kataka came down here. They were beaten 1-0 by Onduparaka. Last season, we saw what Kataka did to Adjumani. It went like that. They said the Adjumani people were not beaten in the stadium. In the first round, we saw in the derby over Kataka and Mbale Heroes what happened. And then recently in the return leg of Mbale Heroes and also Kataka, we equally saw what happened. So this time around, Mbale Heroes Mbale Heroes will be playing. There is a Karunji on Tuesday after Kataka playing. There is Onduparaka on Sunday. And of course, these games are going to be very, very interesting. We will follow so closely and of course be able to bring to you the full updates and analysis over some of these games that will go down on there is a Sunday. One game was played yesterday on the card. Another game, most of the games will return on Sunday, and then one game will complete match day 20, which will be on Tuesday at St. George's Arena, even where Karunji will of course host Mbale Heroes that recently lost to Kataka at Mbale Municipal, where they were hosted by that is Kataka in there. Quite interesting, very, very interesting. And then in UPL, by the way, UPL Star Times Uganda Premier League has been put to a hold in there because most of the teams are and their players are off for there is a national duty in there where they get to represent our country. And I will bring to you UPL table standings where we have Chitara sitting on top of the table with of course 43 points, and then in position number 2 we have Bull that of course has played 21 games and has accumulated 39 points. Then position number 3 we have NEC that has 37. Position number 4 we have a Soccer Club Villa with 36, and then Vipers sits in position number 5 with 35 points, and then Maroons sits in position number 6 with 31 points. The same 31 points also URA has sitting in position number 7. And then position number 8 is KCCA that has 29 points. Position number 10, 9 is Express, 10 is Mbarara, 11 is Saltillo Bright Stars. Position number 12 is Wachiso Giants, 13 Gaddafi, 14 Busoga United, 15 UPDF, 16 of course is the Arua Hill. That of course was scrubbed off in there. And then leaving that story aside, I want to cross to there is by the way the All African Games. But before we cross to the All African Games, there is already a problem. There is there is Chitara. Chitara has issues with the council, the city council people. This is the same problem that, by the way, Onduparaka faced here recently. We saw Onduparaka going through the same, where the stadium gates were either locked or broken because they said Onduparaka was not paying its dues. They are supposed to start paying to the city council. They are supposed to pay to I don't know where, but that was resolved. And now the same has gone to affect, there is a Chitara that sits top of the table. The whole story goes in like this. Council says the club has to pay 200,000 per match. 200,000 per match. Every game Chitara is playing home, they have to remove 200,000 and give to the city council. And then the same councillors wanted 20% of the money per match to be paid. Others want 2 million, others want 200, others want 20% of the total collections that Chitara has from the gate. This, by the way, affects football. It's very bad to see that when your team is struggling, no one wants to associate with you. No one even comes through to ask about your gate collections and all that and all that. But now that Chitara is doing so well, Chitara that has lifted the flags over the people around where it's constituted in. There are a lot of the countrymen and women out there who didn't know by the way about Chitara. Now that they're playing so well, those that love football have gotten to know about it and all that. So basically, this brings down, by the way, a team. It makes a team deteriorate. It demoralizes a team. So I don't know, whatever that is happening, we're yet following that story. Money issues here and there. But this is Chitara that has been very diligently paying to the council 200,000 per every single match. And now they want 20%. They want 2 million per match and all that. What if the total collection is 2 million? What happens? What if the total collection is 2 million? What happens? In the All African Games, Uganda is doing so well in all aspects. In swimming, we have awards. In football, we beat all our opponents. That is where the hip was represented. Even recently, we went to play Congo, and we saw first half ending on a 2-0 on behalf of Congo. This game was played in Congo Brazzaville. We saw first half ending on a 2-0 on behalf of Congo, and then full time ended 4-2. Wow. A plus. It was a good one. Our guys came back and overturned the results and beat Congo 4-2. That was quite a very good one, meaning we're all doing well. Even the ladies are doing, the ladies were beaten 2-0 on a sad note. But cricket, we're doing well. Swimming, we're doing well, have medals. Athletics, yeah, we're doing so well. And then there is one that I want to talk about. That is Josephine Joyce Lalam, who, of course, wins Uganda's third athletics medal at African Games in Ghana. She threw a distance over 57.01 meters, a national record on her third attempt to bag javelin throw bronze. She was fourth at the 2019 edition in Rabat, and then also won bronze at the 2018 African Senior Champs in Asaba, Nigeria. And this time around, Josephine Joyce Lalam wins Uganda's third athletics medal in there. Quite very interesting, quite very impressive. And also, another athlete that is representing in all the African Games is by the names Tom Dradriga. That name, Dradriga, sounds very familiar for my brothers, my comrades that, of course, hail from West Nile. Uganda's Tom Dradriga finishes first in the men's 800-meter semifinals in 1:48.89, and he's through to the finals. The finals, of course, went down yesterday in there. Quite, of course, also very, very impressive there. I think in the All African Games, rugby, we are doing so well. We're beating in teams for fun. And then also cricket, we are doing so well. And then if you look at swimming, we have medals. Athletics, we have medals. So basically, all this is quite very, very good. Crossing over to there is international since UPL, of course, EPL, English Premier League, is off for international break. But then it will return, of course, it will return on Saturday, where we'll see Newcastle playing West Ham, Bournemouth will play Everton, Chelsea will play Burnley, Nottingham Forest will play Crystal Palace, Sheffield United will play Fulham, Tottenham will play Luton, Aston Villa will play Wolves, Brentford will take on will take on United down there. And then if you look at some of the results that, of course, came through over the days from the weekend up to today, being a Thursday, we saw in La Liga results, Sevilla played, there is Celta Vigo, it ended 2-1, and then Las Palmas lost to, that is Almeria, 1-0, and then Villarreal beat, there is Valencia 1-0, and then Vallecano beat, there is Real Betis 2-0, and then Madrid lost to, there is Barcelona, and then there were also other games that went through in that very game. There was a game that went down, and where we saw Almeria playing Sevilla 2-2, and then Sociedad beating there is Cadiz 2-0 there. If you look at some of the stories that of course will be coming through from the international scenes in there, Manchester United, by the way, Manchester United is rumored in that Harry Kane and Neville are in discussions. Yeah, they are in discussions, and then transfer where we are going to see Bayern that is into a lot of transfer stories with Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann is supposed to return to Bayern, and they really want this to come through. Bayern prepared to sell Kimmich, and then Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City are interested in this very Bayern player. And then Radcliffe is also interested in buying Mbappe, but then, is this going to happen? We will be following this story and compiling them, of course, in the next transfer summers in there. Whatever Kylian Mbappe comes to Manchester United, Radcliffe, by the way, is following that very closely. And then Juventus is among some Serie A clubs that are interested in Bologna's Ferguson in there. Very interesting stories are coming through. And like Daliron said, the returning to locally post-primary ball games, of course, that are taking place in there is Barifa. Daliron told you we saw a first half for there is Rua Town SS and Rua SS in a 1-1 there, but then Mvara already, of course, went through to finals awaiting. There is the two teams that are still playing in. We'll bring to you more of the stories in the news at 7 p.m. Part of the edition of Nilecast, and then also some stories that will come through tomorrow as we do a compilation of the whole of the stories that will be coming in there. Quite very impressive, and I would like to appreciate all of you that have been following from wherever you have been catching us from. And there are a lot of people that, by the way, always are following. There is Sans UG Vibes, and you're watching from Gulu City. I would like to say a big ups upon yourself. And then there is Bayo Sunday, who is also following from Windiri in there. I would like to say thank you so much for watching.